What's poppin', everybody? Back with another video. In this video we got 21 Savage on Clubhouse. He's talking about Nas being irrelevant. 21 Savage said Nas isn't relevant, you know, he just has a loyal fan base. Let's hear 21 Savage explain why, and then we're gonna discuss, is 21 Savage right? I personally think 21 Savage is right, but it went over people's heads. I'll explain why after the video. Let's get into it.
This what I'm saying, like saying all that longevity. Name somebody else from back then that can drop an album right now.
Yo, I just said before, if you look at the people who was out in 1994, B,
Jay-Z and him is the only who could do that.
And Snoop Dogg.
Wait, was Fat?
Snoop
Fat was like 98. Fat was like Scarface, Too Short.
Ghost can't drop an album.
Technically, anybody can. Like all them drop one. If
They
want
are
to,
gatekeepers though.
What y'all saying? Relevant though? I don't feel like he's relevant. I just feel like he got.
No, none of them are relevant.
Man,
I don't feel like Nas is relevant.
Coogee rapping Kane dropped the project.
None of them are relevant.
One mic,
No, he's not. He's not relevant. He just has a loyal fan base.
Thank you.
He just has a loyal fan base that, and he still make good music. But
they don't
like,
have a core fan base.
What y'all?
Kids didn't wake up and download.
What's y'all definition of relevant, bro?
Hold on.
Well, I'm glad.
One mic, please. Does relevancy only exist within the youth?
No, relevancy is popular opinion. And popular opinion. Nobody's looking for knowledge.
So then what I'm saying is this though right here. So since I'm a 41-year-old, know what I'm saying? Not
closely connected or appropriate to what is being done or considered.
The best example of this relevance is Nas just dropped a project today. It's a great project. He did his thing. He's Nas, right? But Hove dropped a verse on God Did, and the world went into a frenzy. The world of all ages.
Your world went into a frenzy.
Man, they've been talking about Glorilla. Your world been talking about Nas.
Talking about Glorilla. That's crazy.
That's a fact.
But I want to ask, you had mentioned, okay, Nas doesn't have relevancy. What do you mean by that he doesn't have relevancy?
I don't know what y'all consider relevant, so maybe I used the wrong word.
Relevant.
Ain't nobody under 30 waking up checking for Nas.
That's a fact.
All right, so is 21 Savage correct? I believe he's right, and the reason I think 21 Savage is correct with what he's saying, but even though people don't agree because they're such Nas fanatics, like Nas's fan base is diehard 90s hip hop head. The people that really love Nas and love every album Nas ever dropped are like the same people that love Wu-Tang, they're real hip hop purists. Nas has been the soundtrack to their life. And I'm one of those people. Like that's why I understand and sympathize with people getting upset about 21 Savage saying Nas is irrelevant. Because if you're from the age of 20, I would say 26, 27 and older, Nas and Jay-Z, I mean, you were there with you listened to the whole Rockefeller era. You listened to the Nas Jay-Z beef. You've heard everything from that era. And that music holds a special place in your heart. When you hear somebody call a legend like Nas not relevant anymore, it sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. 21 is actually correct about this, because if you look at 2022, the only major, keyword major, artist over the age of 35, 34 that's relevant is Kanye West and Drake and Jay-Z, but more so Drake and Kanye West. Now, this is my definition of relevant. Now, this is just my personal. Everybody has their own definition of relevant. The definition for me of relevancy is, does people of all age groups still check for your music? When Drake drops an album, it's young people that check. TikTok checks for Drake. Young teenagers check for Drake. Older people check for Drake and be like, is he rapping? Is he singing this time? I'll listen to it. I'll let you know. So you got a bunch of different age groups. You got 30 somethings, you got 20 somethings, you got 18, 17, all checking for Drake. Now Kanye's different. Kids that's checking for Kanye because they might not have heard College Dropout and Late Registration, but they might have heard My Twisted Dark Fantasy. They might have heard Graduate. They might have heard Kanye's later projects, Life of Pablo or something. But also the younger generation is in tune with Kanye as a brand, not just an artist. Now that's important that people overlook, because if you're a 15-year-old and you're a sneakerhead, you might not know all Kanye's songs, but you definitely know the Yeezy brand. You know when them Yeezys gonna drop. You know, you probably got 5-6 pairs of Yeezys. A good example of this is like kids that buy all the Air Jordans, but they've never like seen Michael Jordan actually play in real time because that wasn't their era. So they don't remember Michael Jordan with the flu game where he had the flu and he still dropped all those iconic Michael Jordan moments. They might could see them on YouTube, but that wasn't really their era. So they don't look at it. They don't look at it the same as like somebody that's 30 years old would look at it. They know that Michael Jordan's supposed to be the best player ever and that his shoes are the top shoes. So they're going to buy the Jordans, but they know who he is. So that makes Michael Jordan always relevant. Kanye, his music combined with the brand Yeezy makes Kanye always relevant. Nas got rich from investing in stocks. keep his investment firm made him super rich. But as far as music and his brand, it was just music. It's not like it's some Nas sneakers, a Nas hoodie. That's it. It's just his music that he stands on. So if you don't remember his music or that's not your era, he's not relevant to you. So it's like Nas is nobody. Now I wouldn't say nobody that's under 30 is not checking for Nas, but I'll say nobody under the age of 25 is waking up like, I gotta hear that King's Disease, you know. And that's not to take away from Nas. That album is incredible, and Nas is always killing it when it comes to music. He's a legendary lyricist, and he's one of my favorite artists. But 21 Savage is right. The young kids that's like 24 and under, they're listening to like NBA Youngboy, and NBA Youngboy is like Tupac to them, you know. And for 30-year-olds or 25-year-olds or 27-year-olds, that might sound ridiculous. Like, bro, did you hear Tupac? NBA Youngboy ain't nothing like Tupac. We don't even know what NBA Youngboy is talking about. But that's older people, or like, that's not your era of music. So it is what it is. It is what it is. People, older people didn't understand gangster rap when it first came out. They're like, what is Snoop Dogg talking about? So it's one of those things where we don't understand the greatness of NBA Youngboy, but they don't understand what's the big deal about Nas. That's when I say 21 Savage is right. It's only a select few that's relevant. If we go by the definition of my definition, that all age groups check for your music. When you drop a project, the 17-year-olds check in, 25-year-olds check in, 29-year-olds check in, and 30-somethings are checking for your music. That's relevance. So drop in the comments. Let me know your definition of relevant. And is Nas still relevant? And I'm out.